So, final decision on the flip phones. I had this for about 10 months. This was a Motorola Razr. When I thought it was so cool because, you know, the Razrs, the original Razrs were the coolest. But, so 10 months and it died. I would not recommend getting another one. Do not buy a flip phone if you have the option. So, this, first of all, was my first problem. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I started getting a bubble in the middle. Now, this comes loaded with already, it's installed already, the screen protector. They put it on it before you get it. And they tell you, don't take it off, have someone, you know, an authorized repair person do it, whatever. So, somewhere around a month ago, it started getting a big bubble across the middle. And then it started getting crap under it because of that. So, I went into Comcast where I bought it, and they said they don't do that, and they referred me to a place in Chambersburg, Monster Repair or something, and then that called them, and they said they didn't do it either. So then I called Motorola, and Motorola referred me to UBreakIFix in Frederick. So I went in there. I called ahead, first of all, and they said, oh, we have it. And then when I showed up, which is an hour drive, they did not have it because they didn't have that year. And I know I told them the year, but apparently they didn't hear it, whatever. So they ordered it, and I came back a few days later, and they put it on. But when they put it on, there was still a small bubble across there, and he said, well, there's some grooves underneath there in the phone already, and it's just not laying down right, but after some use of it, it'll get better. I was like, okay, it's like it'll just kind of push down into it. It's like, okay, if you say so. So as I was going, it was just not getting better. In fact, it got worse. The bubble went all the way across, and again, it started getting crap in it. Now, 2 days ago, the bubble was fully there, and it was all just nicky. But I dropped it about 2 feet from my hand, and the thing just glitched all over the place. The screen is done, you know. And I don't know if it was from the fall or from all of this. But then I was like, oh, screw this. I got to take it in and see what they can do to fix it. So I just made an appointment online with the UBreakIFix people again. And I drove over there, and they took a look at it and said, that is like a $600 repair for the screen. They said the screen cost as much as the phone did. So there's no point. You know, I still owe like $350 on it for my plan. It's like, well, I'm not paying $600 to replace a phone that costs $600. So, now, after I did that, I started looking at Walmart and seeing what kind of unlocked phones I could buy for cheaper, just because I was like, I really don't want to get a brand new phone. I still am paying on this thing. So I'll see what I can do. And they had them for about up to $200, and the couple ones that they had, I wrote them down. And then I went over to Comcast to see what they had. Well, you go into Comcast, and they don't sell phones outright. You can only buy a phone through them if you're putting it on a line. Well, I already had a line, but it had a phone attached to it. And since, if you all know, you cannot upgrade the line or change the line out until you've paid off the phone that's on it. At least not through them. They don't sell phones outright. What I could do was get another phone from a third party like Walmart and then change the SIMs around. But the ones that I had written down were not compatible with the SIM in this, which I don't even understand. They said, no, it's not compatible. These phones to that phone just don't work. I'm like, okay. So basically at that point, I was like, oh, screw it. Just give me a new phone. I'll pay this one off. So I paid this one off, and I got the new phone. But I did ask in the meantime if this would have been covered under warranty, because I was like, well, what can I do about this phone? Because this shouldn't have happened anyway. And they looked at it, they said, well, we really don't see any damage to the phone, like you dropped it. I was like, no, I just, you know, out of my hand, but I think there was already problems with it, as you can see. And they said, yeah. And here's the thing. When I got to, so UBreakIFix, and they pointed this out to me. They said, well, you could turn it in for a warranty, but they're not going to pay it because there is one thing that's a damage. And I see it, and I saw it after they said it. So there's this little piece of plastic right here that should be there, and it's not on the other side. Well, when UBreakIFix put the new cover on it a couple weeks ago, I brought it home, and there was this little piece of plastic hanging off, and I didn't know what it was, and I just went, well, apparently, whatever they did, this piece was hanging loose. So that's on them, but it was on me for not knowing what I was doing and just pulling it off. I just thought it was a piece of plastic from the cover. So that coming off kind of voided my chance of getting any kind of warranty on it. They said, well, that's considered damage. and they wouldn't pay for it. So, okay, fine. So, there's that. And then, oh, also, I did take the cover finally off after this whole thing started glitching, and it had that great big bubble anyway, and I wanted to see what was going on underneath the cover, and I took it off, and I could really see the lines then, and they just gouge in here from the flip. Now this screen is supposed to last the lifetime of the phone, whatever that may be, but it should be a couple years at least. It shouldn't do this, because that's the whole idea of the flip phone, is it's designed to handle the folding. Clearly not. So that's, anyway, so I had to pay off the phone. I bought a brand new phone, did not get a flip phone again, and I won't again. All the salespeople were like, yeah, I wouldn't buy those because it's a great idea, but they're not ready for them. They didn't make them to, I mean, Samsung's been doing it, and now Motorola's doing it, and they're just like, we haven't heard good things, so they wouldn't have recommended it. And so, my fault, I went online and just bought it when I had to buy my last phone. I didn't ask a salesperson's opinion. I thought it was neat, but no. Just FYI on the whole phone thing. I wouldn't buy it. You can see the digs. You can, just problems with it.